Judgment time.
You're welcome, I guess.
Members of the jury.
I really don't see what all the fuss is about.
Oh my God, the Scoleri brothers!
In favor of conviction.
You, Mr. Stark. You, buddy.
I am the law!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Geek Court. I am today's honorable judge and executioner, Judge Larry White. Today we are putting 3 topics on trial. Will Tomb Raider break the video game movie curse? Is it fair to fans to retcon the Terminator franchise? And who will be the killer in Murder on the Orient Express? Today's topic will be debated and fought over by our 2 defendants, Aaron and Amanda. Aaron, how prepared are you?
I am super prepared.
Amanda, how confident are you with your statements?
Confident enough.
Well, the outcome of each case will be decided upon by our jury of their peers, Stephen, Jesse, and Dan. And, of course, we have our trusty fact-checking bailiff, Gabe. The jury will decide the final verdict, but should the jury be split, my vote counts for 1/3 of the final verdict. The defense will be judged based on who made the best case and not personal bias. We will start with 3 cases, each worth 1 point. Let us begin the first case. The Tomb Raider trailer released this week. I thought it was pretty decent, but it doesn't matter what I think. Will Tomb Raider break the video game movie curse? Aaron, we're starting with you with 30 seconds for your opening statement.
Okay, so I do not believe that Tomb Raider is going to break the video game curse because I think it's been broken. I think Warcraft was a great adaptation of the source material of the Warcraft lore. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Duncan Jones is great. I think it's Doug Jones. I don't know, whoever. As far as Tomb Raider, from what we've seen so far, the poster's garbage. Her neck is photoshopped to be the length of 3 human necks. She's mixed with a dinosaur. And from what I can tell in the trailer, the story seems...
Is time.
Oh, you son of a...
Amanda, 30 seconds.
From the trailer that we've seen so far, it almost identically mirrors the intro to the actual gameplay for Crystal Line's 2013 revamped Tomb Raider. Her neck looks long. She used to be a Swedish ballerina. Everybody knows ballerinas have longer necks. Just stating that the poster looks bad does not mean that based on the trailer, it's not going to be a good movie.
All right. Aaron, you have 1 minute for your rebuttal.
I don't know about ballerinas, but no human has a neck that long. It's insane looking. But the storyline in the trailer, from what we can see, is every single movie ever. My dad went missing. It's basically Amazing Spider-Man 2. My dad went missing. I'm going to go find his secret laboratory and go on a fun adventure and, freaking live through things that no human should survive. She falls into a tree at like a 40-foot drop and survives in water. Then she jumps 30 feet in the air like a superhuman. I just think it looks terrible. I like Alicia Vikander. I think she's a great actress. And I like Nick Frost, who's also in it. But I think it looks trite, and it looks like every movie we've ever seen, and especially every Tomb Raider. That's it.
Amanda, 1 minute on the clock.
So basically your rebuttal is the fact that because it is sticking to the video game that fans love and love to play, which is why they are going to see this movie, that because it is sticking to that source material, that is what's making it bad. The fact that she is literally going through what happens in the video game. That's all.
Aaron, would you like to make your 30-second closing argument?
So my argument is more that the story is contrived. It's been done. We've seen it a million times. It's every adventure movie. It's every one of these mystery, like National Treasure, Indiana Jones movies. It's all the same. And I just think it doesn't look good. I think it looks better than some video game movies, but I don't think it's going to break the curse on its own merits. But we know we've only seen 1 trailer. So.
And that's your time. Amanda, 30 seconds.
When fans go to these movies, they're the ones that determine whether it's a good video game movie or not. The people who have never seen it, never played it, they're not the ones that determine if it's a good video game movie. If you are a fan of the franchise and you are going to see what you play at home depicted on the big screen. So yes, maybe it's been done, but that is what the story is. You can't change what the story is.
And that closes today's argument. I think, Aaron, you make a good point about it being a little bit cliche. Amanda, you also make a good point about it being very true to the video game. So, Gabe, any facts check?
Yeah, just 2 quick facts. One, the director of Warcraft is Duncan Jones. And ballerinas, the ideal physique for ballerinas are long necks, do have long necks.
All right.
Are they like, okay, hold on. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Jury, do you have the results?
Yes, we came to a unanimous decision that it, in favor of Aaron, that it does look kind of cheap and it does look like the same type of stuff that we've seen before. And necessarily just because it looks like the video game doesn't mean it's going to translate over into a good film. So
I would have disagreed. I would have gone with Amanda because Aaron never really said, I think, that just because looks like the video game doesn't mean that's a good thing. But he just really stuck to cliches. But I guess my opinion doesn't matter. We'll move on to the second case with Aaron in the lead with 1 point. It's official. Linda Hamilton is returning to the Terminator franchise. At least that's what they're saying. They're also considering ignoring all the Terminator sequels after Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So that has us asking, is it fair to the fans to retcon the Terminator franchise? Removing Terminator 3, Genesis, Salvation. Amanda, since Aaron went first, you'll be starting with your 30-second opening statement.
Okay. It is absolutely not fair to ask the fans to completely disregard the last 26 years worth of content that they have received, from movies to novels to comic books to web series and TV shows. Asking them to just disregard that is basically saying they wasted their time, they wasted their money, their effort, and it just doesn't matter. So no, it's not fair to ask them to do that.
All right. Didn't use up all your time. Aaron, your 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely okay to reboot this franchise at this point because, being honest, every single Terminator sequel after 2 has been hot garbage. They're not worth watching, and if they're going to reboot and make it better, then I say go for it. And I think as a fan of the franchise up until 2, I'm happy to see maybe that story continuing forward rather than whatever drivel we got before. It's going to give the writers a chance to give us a proper sequel to 1 and 2.
Perfect on time. Amanda, your 1 minute rebuttal.
As for the last few ones have been total garbage. That's not true. They've made a ridiculous amount of money, all of them. The last one alone, Genesis, made more money than any only second to Judgment Day, and it actually made the most in every other market aside from Northern America. Asking fans to just completely disregard things they love and the things that they've been learning and being dedicated to is not fair to the fans.
Aaron, your 1 minute rebuttal.
Well, I don't think making money necessarily denotes quality of a film. I'd love to see what the critics thought of 3, Salvation, and Genesis. Spoilers, they did not like them. I think that fans, myself included, deserve a good sequel to Terminator 2. I think at this point we deserve to see the continuation and the conclusion of that story done justice instead of what we've gotten, which was Injustice, Gods Among Us, the movie. The end. I quit.
Amanda, your closing statement.
Basically asking us to disregard so many years worth of content is the same thing that Disney did when they decided to tell us to forget all about the Star Wars expanded universe and forget the last 30 years ever happened. Fans were not happy. Fans continue to not be happy. And that is exactly what will continue to happen if Terminator decides to do the exact same thing. You will have your fans that will be so upset they will not go see the new movies just out of spite.
Aaron, 30 seconds.
Star Wars The Force Awakens made ungodly amounts of money, and I think it's a great movie irregardless of the lack of books and video game canon. But I think in terms of Terminator, it's time for them to bring us back to the roots, and I want to see where they can take it after the loads of drivel we've gotten and poo-poo.
And that is your time. I think you both made very good arguments. Any facts check?
Yeah, just to clear up a couple of this Terminator franchise info here. Salvation got 33% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Genesis got 26%. But Terminator 3 did have some staying power with 70% fresh, and it brought in 150 million.
All right. Jury, have you reached a verdict?
The jury's come to a verdict. It's 2-1, 2 for Amanda, 1 for Aaron. Amanda does come up with a good point that it is unfair to get rid of 26 years worth of canon. But Aaron also has a really good point that the Terminator series has just become so jumbled with John Connor being a good guy, bad guy. It goes all over the place, and it's kind of a big mess. So we're going to leave this in your hands, Judge.
I actually agree with the jury for the very same reasons. So I'm going to give the point to Amanda. And so you guys are now tied 1-1. All right, our third case.
No.
A new trailer for Murder on the Orient Express has just came out, and luckily didn't spoil the movie. So we're wondering who will be killed in Murder on the Orient Express, at least based on these trailers and specifically this most recent trailer.
Isn't it who'll be the killer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good, because that's what I'm arguing.
I'm like, wait, what? Are we switching
Aaron,
topics?
Since you went first, you got 30 seconds.
I picked Willem Dafoe's character, whose name I don't know. The Professor.
That's a lot of great research. Continue.
Because, well, I knew his name was the Professor. I didn't know what his actual character's name is. But look at him. He's evil looking. He's an evil guy. And I think he plays a good villain. And I think the idea would be to hide him in plain sight. Go with the most evil looking person and trick us all. Because we're going to think they're not picking him. He's evil. I rest my case.
He's evil. All right, Amanda, you got 30 seconds.
All right, I picked Michelle Pfeiffer's character, the Widow. I mean, from the very beginning when you first see her, she's shady as can be. I mean, she's the Widow. Is anybody really checking to see how she became a widow in the first place? Like, let's just think about that for like a minute. And it's like, William Dafoe, like, that's just his face. You can't, like, base that on what his face looks like. He was born that way. That's all I have to say.
Aaron, your rebuttal?
I think that you can absolutely base things on people's faces and what they look like because nature is telling you the secret. Look at him in the corner. Oh, he's gone. He's always lurking around in the background, slightly out of focus with his tiny little circular glasses. He's over there watching. She's saying, oh, the widow did it. But no, he's back there like, I'm going to make everyone think it's her because her husband already died. He's evil, and he played a really good Norman Osborn who was also evil. And I wish they would have let me use my second exhibit because he looked really scary. I rest my case.
Amanda,
okay,
your rebuttal?
So in my exhibit 1, if you look at her, she not only looks really shady, she looks super guarded, like she's hiding something. She's like, oh no, they're going to come to me and I got to do something about that. When you think about, you know, the professor, okay, yeah, sure, William Dafoe looks bad, but he was the good guy in Platoon. He was a good guy in Boondock Saints. So I'm just saying, just because he looks like that doesn't mean he's always a bad guy. And I mean, look at her in my second exhibit. She's like just blaming everybody, trying to put the blame on anybody who isn't her. That screams guilty.
All right, Aaron, your closing statement?
Michelle Pfeiffer is a beautiful woman. And I'm just going to take my logic all the way to the end of the line here. She's really pretty and she looks really nice and friendly. And just Willem Dafoe looks like a creepy murderer. I have nightmares about him. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say. I rest my case.
Amanda?
Okay, so as a girl, I know for a fact that when women look like that, they are not nice. She looks like an evil queen bee. Like, you would not expect her at all. She's super shady. And, I mean, there's a statistic out there that goes to prove that, you know, women tend to get away with murder a lot more often simply because of the fact that they're never thought to be the murderers. And if you've killed once, you're more than likely going to kill again. So just think about, how did her husband die?
I object to that statement.
I rest my case.
There's no way to fact check that.
All right. Very strong arguments. More so leaning on one side, but I'll leave it to the jury to give their opinion first. Gabe, any facts check?
Not too much. William Dafoe's character's name is Gerard Hardman, and there are such things as Black Widow murderers, who are people who devour their mates' assets after killing them.
It's a thing.
Interesting. Jury, have you come to a verdict?
Yes, we have, Judge. We all vote for Amanda.
And yeah, I'd say that's clearly where it was leaning towards.
I object to seeing this movie.
So then don't watch it.
I'm 100% not.
That brings the score 1-2 with Amanda in the lead. And now we'll be moving on to the Speedster round. Each case will be worth 1 point on the Speedster round. Defendants will blindly defend 3 cases. Their stance on each case will be randomly drawn from the sorting hat that they're currently choosing from. The first question will be, Halloween Horror Nights began this month. Some of this year's haunted houses include The Shining, Saw, and American Horror Story. So we're wondering, what movie would make the best haunted house? Amanda, since Aaron went first last time, you'll be going first with 20 seconds on the clock.
Okay, so I got The Wizard of Oz. So, let's just look at that for a minute. Okay, those flying monkeys on their own are terrifying. The Wizard of Oz is draped in all this, scary mystery behind the scenes, all the stuff that went wrong. Liza Minnelli and her drug problem, all this stuff. Not Liza Minnelli, sorry. That's her daughter. But anyway.
And that's your time.
Oh.
Aaron, 20 seconds on the clock.
I got Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and all I'm going to say is that tunnel scene, you just put people in that thing and scare the pants off them. It's a fantastic movie, and it's horrific. Just all those things that you see going down there. And that's it. And Oompa Loompas. That's it. They're scary, and they're orange.
And Oompa Loompas. Amanda, you got 10-second rebuttal.
Flying monkeys, wicked witches, houses falling on you at random points in time. I don't know what could possibly be scarier. A wizard that is bigger than your house. I mean, that's terrifying to people of all ages.
And that's time. Aaron, 10 seconds.
I'll tell you what's scarier. You bring your kids and they're liable to, they're going to die. They're going to die. That's what happens at the Chocolate Factory, okay? And it's run by a child molester. I rest my case.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I do not envy the jury. Gabe, any facts to check?
The actress you're looking for was Judy Garland.
Judy Garland, you're right.
Okay, now I don't have a job. Now I'm out of a job.
I'm sorry. It came to me.
Jury, have you come to a verdict?
See, that's how
all right.
that
So
happened.
we came to a split decision. We're gonna leave it to you. We're at 2-1. I thought that the witches was kind of scary, but he also mentioned that it's not so scary. So we're a little split on
It's not so scary.
Who are the 2 votes for?
Singing and dancing.
Demonic singing, guys.
sorry,
That's
demonic
scary.
singing.
2 for Amanda?
2 for Amanda.
Singing is scary.
I'm pretty torn on this one. You guys made some really good points, and
Drowning in chocolate.
I think I'll leave it to
Houses
their
falling.
majority, and I'll give it to Amanda.
They won't even know if you have diarrhea when you're in the chocolate river. Do you understand how scary that
You
is?
could be walking and a house falls on you. How is that not terrifying?
Because you could hear a house coming.
All right,
you
back to the
know?
damn show. All right, the second question for the Speedster round. The first trailer for Liam Neeson's next action thriller, The Commuter, just released. Basically, Liam Neeson on a train. Where should the next Liam Neeson action film take place? Aaron, this time we're going to go with you to start with your 20-second opening statement.
What is more frightening and more suspenseful than an elderly man in a hot air balloon? Liam Neeson in a hot air balloon, running out of sandbags and running out of hot air and just flying. And who knows where he's going to land? He could be over the ocean at this point. And what if he doesn't have his shark repellent when he's hanging from the rope? You never know. It could go either way.
Time. Amanda, your 20-second opening statement.
Liam Neeson is trying to find out who the killer is on the Calypso deck in the cruise ship right in front of the slide. How can we not think about that? How can we think, where will the killer hide? It's such a big ship, and he has to find them before they make landfall.
Aaron, you got 10 seconds.
Cruise ships aren't scary, but hot air balloons are. Gravity is working against you at all times. And what if you fall out? You never know. And you're elderly.
Amanda?
Cruise ships, the killers can get away on a lifeboat. Once you're in the ocean, you can die or drown in the ocean trying to catch the killer before he gets away. That's all I have.
All right. Those are 2 very good arguments. Bailiff, do you have any facts to check?
Just one. Typically, hot air balloons have the capacity to go as high as 15,000 to 18,000 feet.
Whew. Terrifying.
Jury?
We've come to the conclusion, and we've sided with Amanda.
God almighty.
Just because it does make a lot more sense for a cruise ship, there would be a lot more ability to create plot points. The hot air balloon idea is kind of cool. It's almost like, that shark movie where the girl's like stranded on a rock. Like you think like how much can they do? But to be realistic, the cruise ship actually, you can make a movie out of that.
I would have given the point this time to Aaron. He was pretty creative on that one with what he had to work with. But I guess my opinion doesn't matter for the score. This point goes to Amanda. All right, the score is 1-4.
Felt a lot of bias in that one, guys.
Going into the last speedster question. The second Star Wars The Last Jedi trailer is releasing on October 9th. My birthday, during Monday Night Football. We want to know, what are we most looking forward to in the next Star Wars trailer? Amanda, we're going to start with you.
Okay, so what we're looking forward to most is actually finding out that Rey's parents that we've been thinking about for almost a year now aren't really Jedis, aren't really anybody important. They're actually Ewoks. That's really what we want to see. That's it.
Great opening statement. Aaron, you got 20 seconds.
I am super excited to see the 4th Death Star get revealed, because what can they do to stop it? This time they know about the shaft where you have to force a bolt down. They know about the other way they did it. They know that a planet's not going to work. What are they going to do, guys? What are they going to do?
What are they going to do, Amanda?
I mean, another Death Star, do we really want to see that again? We've seen it so many times. Like, yeah, okay, they know all the soft spots to break it up and everything, but that's not new. That's not interesting.
Time. Aaron?
You know what I don't want to see? How the teddy bears had their picnic and how their baby became Rey, the last Jedi on any planet. I'm sorry, I don't want to see that. The Death Star wins. That's it.
And that is your time. Gabe, any facts to check?
I got nothing.
He's got nothing. Yuri, what's the verdict?
We are 2 for Aaron and 1 for Amanda.
Well, I think Aaron did a good opening statement and good rebuttals. Amanda, you were mainly just good at the rebuttals on this one. So I'd give the point to Aaron, but that is really not enough because Amanda is today's clear winner. And that concludes tonight's proceedings. I'd like to thank our 2 defendants, Aaron and Amanda. Aaron, any parting words?
You guys don't know how to be jurors. That's what I'm going to say, okay? It's not personal bias. It's not what you thought was a scarier movie. It's who made the better argument.
Do not question the integrity of my damn court. I'm the law. Amanda, any parting words?
You all are lovely people, and I don't know what he's saying. I disagree wholeheartedly.
Well, we would like to thank our jury for fulfilling their civic duties today. And, of course, our awesome bailiff, Gabe.
Thanks for the promotion.
And we would like to thank Full Moon Creative for letting us shoot here. Please make sure to share, subscribe, and leave a comment on who you think argued the best. I'm today's Geek Court judge, Judge Larry White. Thank you for joining us. Court's adjourned!